welcome back to another EUC Learn Along. What are we doing today? We're back to Intune. Yeah. So last video we did a Citrix video on fast with smart cards and all that good stuff. I think the last video we did for Intune was for laps. So we're going to continue along with that on security and management and all these other cool things. So I just reset this device. We'll log in. Get the waiting out the way. Yep. All right, so today we're going to look at drive encryption. So there's a couple ways to do it, and I was only able to mess around so much with it since I don't have a hybrid environment yet to test with. But with some reading and some articles that I'll post in the website blog, we can discuss or go over why we went a certain route. All right, so it's still going. All right, so under endpoint security, you got a disk encryption tag. We kind of went over that for the account protection for laps. So yeah, let's see if laps is still working. Pretty sure it is. Yep, right out the box. Disk encryption. All right, so we got Mac, Windows. I haven't messed with personal data encryption yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll get to looking at it. Let's read it. Encrypt selected folders and its contents. Oh, Windows Hello. So we need Windows Hello, which I don't have to set up. All right, we'll just put in some nonsense. We have all the settings here. There we go. Require. Sure. Allow warning. We don't care about that. Configure. Yes, we want both. Azure and hybrid. We got a hybrid setup for us. It would just be Azure AD. We can set the encryption type. We'll go max. We'll make security happy. I haven't messed with unique identifiers yet. Say much in here about it? It doesn't. Something I probably need to look up. All right, so we're going to enforce encryption on our OS drive. Select encryption type. We can do use space only, full encryption. I don't know exactly the benefits of why you would choose either or. Maybe a performance thing. I'm going to assume that. But we can choose either or. We won't let the user pick. We want authentication. Allow BitLocker without. So we would leave that to false. Configure TPM startup key. No. We want to require TPM. We don't care about these pins. Allow, disallow users from changing the pin or password. really give you a whole lot of info on these eyes. We don't want standard users messing with it. File device. We don't care about that. Configure user storage. So we can allow the users to do it, or we can not allow. Probably depending on your security posture, that can change. But this is kind of what I want to look at. So right now we got it set to Azure AD because that's all we got. But if we had hybrid scenarios, this terminology can get kind of funny. And again, I couldn't find too much info, but there is an article that kind of hints at it because it kind of goes through the troubleshooting process. So with hybrid environments, it will sync and recover the key to Azure or Intra. But from what I've kept reading is it will also do it to AD. So there is not conflict. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to, but it can cause issues if you don't have your environment set up or if you don't want it to sync with AD. How about that? So what I did was we're not going to configure this policy or save it. Just kind of wanted to look at that, and I struggled to understand it because it says ADDS, and it probably doesn't specify Azure or on-prem AD for a reason. But just from what I understand from reading the document is, if you're choosing this intra-join only, it's going to do intra-join. If it's hybrid, it's going to try to do both, which can cause issues, something like that. And then there's some other articles out there, blogs that kind of elaborate on that. But anyhow, we have a VM that we just provisioned out of box. Don't have anything set to it, and we don't need you. And I went ahead and created a configuration policy for BitLocker because there's some other things you can do here that you can't do in the other one. There we go. All right, so it's not a sign. Look at the policy. It's endpoint protection policy. Again, the verbiage is kind of the same. You got some extra options for requiring encryption, for blocking warnings. This doesn't apply to us. All right, we are configuring the encryption method. We set those in the other policy. Require authentication with startup. Required. We're doing TPM. We don't care about pins. We're doing recovery. And look at these eyes have some info. Anyhow, we want recovery. We are not going to allow user creation, password, or keys. Recovery option. Block. Yep. Save BitLocker recovery information to Enter ID. Yes. Store recovery information in Enter ID before enabling BitLocker. So this is very specific on where we want it. Again, there's other policies that we could do for configuration policies. We're using endpoint protection, but this has all the terminology I want to get it only to enter join, or sorry, sync the keys to enter only. We're not doing any URLs for recovery, and we're not doing anything for fixed or removable drives. So from here on up, we had the policy set. Pretty straightforward. Um, we got authentication set to require TPM. We got recovery set up. We don't want user creation of the recovery keys. And we're backing up keys and passwords. And we do have key rotation enabled for both hybrid and interjoin. So pretty straightforward. Let's apply this policy. We'll do it for all devices. Save. And then we will sync. So this shouldn't take long. And again, we can monitor it through the event viewer. If we have any issues. Take your time. Oh, that's happening. Look right there. All right. Microsoft Windows. Should be a BitLocker one here somewhere. API. All right, so we got some events in here. All right, so we got some stuff about secure boot. And pretty sure I don't have that enabled. So let me shut this thing down. I shut it down from here. Power, shut down. And I don't have VMware tools. So anyhow, no big deal. All right, we got TPM. Not have to worry about that. All right, we'll enable secure boot. Power on back up. This policy did hit pretty quick. Give some warnings about secure boot. Let's see what it do now. All right, might have to sync again. There we go. So BitLocker is doing something. Just want to see these logs and see what it says. So we got our key. So that's good. And let's go Microsoft. Oh my lord. Windows. Oh lord. Oh lord. And BitLocker. Backed up to Entra ID. Sure was. Created. All right, so BitLocker is doing its thing. All right, so we're good. Our policy works. Yeah, there's a couple ways to configure these policies. Um, and again, there's some pros and cons from what I'm reading using the endpoint security versus the configuration policy for hybrid environments. Now, if we go here, manage BitLocker, can I back up my recovery key? No. Right, so it really doesn't give you any warnings. But from our policy, should not be allowed to do anything. Go back to Event Viewer. Application. It's going to take its time. Should have just left it up. All right, Microsoft, Windows. Oh, no, BitLocker. So I think it's done. Yes? Yes. All right. So let's go back. Cannot get anything. Let's allow the users to get the key. Allow. Save. Let's go back to devices. Let's sync. Give it a bit. But while we're waiting, even though we had that policy where users cannot get the key, users can still get the key. Oh, only if I knew the link. Same link. My recovery keys. Here we go. User. Let's see. Learn along. Microsoft.com. All right. So if we go to devices, oh my god, surveys. Why does everybody want a survey? All right, we got 2 active devices. We are looking at Intune 2. We can still view our BitLocker key. Again, it's fine, but if you don't want it, there's some extra steps you have to do. So I kind of already have it pulled up in Intra. We go to devices and then device settings. This is where we turned on lapse and a few other things. But if we scroll down to the bottom at other settings, restrict users from recovering the BitLocker keys for their own devices. We need to enable that. And if we close that and refresh, it should be blocked. Ah, looky there. But admins can still get the key. So again, it's all about what you want, but if you don't want users to have access, probably need to block it through Intra. All right, so let's go back. Let's go to Manage BitLocker. I need to turn that back to no. Save. Let's see, is it doing anything else? Fresh. Oh, it's still going through its thing. Seal. All right, so that took about 4 minutes. BitLocker settings in here. It's all the same stuff. Anyhow, I think we get the point. And now that I think about it, I think you have to be an admin to get the keys. I need to look that up. Let me reread this. Edit. Configure if users are allowed, required, or not. Anyhow, oops. We're going to set it to do not allow, and we are going to block it. let's be secure. Anyhow, there's a few other things we could do within here. We could sync the key um, through here. We can export the recovery key. We can do all that through here. But again, in an enterprise environment, none of that needs to be done through here anyway. It can all be done through your management console, which we are pushing for Intra. And was it Intune 2? We got what we need. All right, well, oh, Windows isn't activated. Oops. Well, I got a lot of stuff expiring here. Is everything expired? Products. Yeah. So it looks like a lot of my stuff is expired, but I can still leverage some functionalities for a little lab. Anyhow, cool stuff with BitLocker, and I hope you learned something.